Please welcome GW's Executive Director of Sustainability, Kathleen Merrigan.
Good morning. It's interesting, Ariel recorded that earlier last week, also known as Voice of God, or in her case, Voice of Goddess. So you'll hear her voice throughout the day today. Welcome, everybody. I know more people pile in as the morning progresses, but you early birds, I appreciate that you're all here. We're going to have a great 2 days. We have 60 speakers that are going to cross the stage or your workshops over the 2 days, coming from all over the country. We know in the audience here, we have people from at least 34 states, and some people registered for the live stream. And for those who registered, we know then we expand our reach to at least 44 states. And over the weekend, Ariel got contact from someone from Uganda wanting to clarify what time the live stream would be in Ugandan time. So those of you out there in the live stream, welcome. We're excited that you're participating with us today too. Great, so I've got the job of doing a lot of announcements. You all have a program, and if you are on live stream, if you're at the website, you can go to localfoodsimpact.org, and you'll find everyone's bios there. In your program today, you'll see bios. Since we have 60 speakers across the 2 days, just think if we gave a 3 or 5 minute intro to every speaker, our time would just evaporate. So we're going to dispense with that other than our 4 keynoters. So please look at people's bios and appreciate the wealth of expertise that we bring to you over the course of this meeting. Our plenary this morning is live streamed. Our workshops are not, but then we'll come back at the end of the day for another closing session keynote. Walter Robb, a retail consultant, former CEO of Whole Foods Market, one of my dearest friends, will be here to close our first day. We will not have any breaks this morning. The coffee breakfast service will go on all morning long. So if you feel a need to get up out of your seat, you can go up there, and the proceedings of the morning will carry on in the screens up there. You can follow it. We also have intentionally set up your day so you have to move a little. When we break for lunch, we're actually going to go across the street for lunch. So you get up and move. And the workshops will be over there. And then we'll come back here to this auditorium for the closing plenary. And then we'll walk a block and a half to our reception tonight. So there is some blood-moving activities planned. If you are looking for bathrooms, they're in the basement. Not on this floor. There's some on the second floor, but the ones that easily found are in the basement. And there's one change on your program that I want to note. We have a local food tour tomorrow afternoon. It's listed as going longer than we intended. The time that that will be is 1:30 to 3. I'll remind everyone again tomorrow, but just in case you're making afternoon plans, I wanted to alert you to that. Okay, we have Pigeonhole that we're using throughout the day. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Pigeonhole, but we're going to try it out. The instructions are in your program. They're on your name tag, and I'm going to ask, so my people are already ahead of me. So the first question I'm going to ask, I want you to log into Pigeonhole so you can try it out, because this is how we're going to ask questions of our speakers throughout our plenary. So this is where you get your iPhone and you plug in. And so this is the question. We'll just get a sense of who's here. You can do this out in the live stream too. Tell us who you are. What sector do you come from? And you have some choices there: federal government, practitioner, private sector, NGO, other. So as people log on, we should be able to see in real time the responses come up. See, it's starting to move, that little circle. I want to say my team over in academic, they were really fast on the Pigeonhole. I don't know if they'll still dominate at the end. You get dizzy. I'll give it one more minute. So as people are finishing putting in their answers, people out in the live stream, as well as people in the audience, you can tweet your questions when our speakers are engaged, and you'll see, not all of the sessions allow for that, but the ones that have the little pigeon, on your program, that's for when Pigeonhole will be used. And you can upvote different questions. So say I'm thinking I want to ask my USDA colleagues something about the value-added producer grants, but somebody already asked that question, I can upvote that question. And we'll see how the questions arrange on the screen. All right, well, this could keep going on and on. I'm going to ask another question, but this is just to get a sense of the crowd. 25.9% federal government, 35.1% academic, 14.6% others, and 25% nonprofit. That's a pretty good distribution, I'd say. And things will shift over the day. All right, let's take our next Pigeonhole test run here. Our next slide. Do we have the other slide, the other question? Here we go. Okay. So we have a really great reception that we're going to have tonight at the Arts Club. And I want you to start getting psyched about it. Great networking opportunity. And the chef there has done a great effort to try to do locally grown as much as possible given our season. I think my favorite is the blue catfish nuggets, which is not only local, but it's also a situation where you have an invasive, and we're trying to control the invasive species for the ecosystem health. So this is just fun. What are you most looking forward to at our local foods reception tonight? And those are some of the options that we're going to have. I don't know, the wine's not doing as well as I might have expected. I'm going to hold you to it too, yeah. So anyhow, thank you. That gives you a sense of how Pigeonhole works. Now, I want to introduce Commissioner Gary Black here in a second, but first I want to show you a slide. We all think about what local food is to them, and I have a really strange local food that I want to share with all of you. If I could have that first slide of Gould's Sugar House, please. All right, so how many of you have heard sugar on snow? Oh, a few of you had. Okay, so when my husband and I got engaged and he went up to Greenfield, Massachusetts, where I'm from, the first thing that happened was he was brought to Gould's Sugar House and made to eat sugar on snow. He thought that was the strangest thing. He's a boy from California. So you take really hot maple syrup, it's a springtime treat, and you put it on snow, and it kind of makes a taffy. And the odd things are that you have a side of pickles and usually donuts. Very healthy, but extremely local. And I was thinking of this in getting ready for today, because it's also a real local culture, custom kind of thing for me. But also, if I could have this next slide. There we go. The next slide with the Instagram. Yeah, so our speaker. Now, Commissioner Gary Black is really a great sport for coming here all the way up from Georgia. He's a really wonderful commissioner of agriculture doing great things down in his state. He's a cattleman. He's the 16th commissioner there. So he's got a lot of experience both in policy making and in American agriculture as a producer. But sometimes I wonder about these commissioner friends of mine. So, you know, there was that thing called the Super Bowl. I'm from Massachusetts. So we were looking through Commissioner Black's Instagram to prepare for this. He's probably going to come out and say, "Why don't prepare for that?" But he's a good sport. And he put on a little bet with the Commissioner of Agriculture that his team was going to win the Super Bowl. Now, if you watch that Super Bowl, and I'm not even the biggest football fan in the world, that was one of the most exciting football games that you could ever have. And in the end, you know, Georgia went down and the Pats won. Go Pats. But here's the thing. He bet the Commissioner of Ag of Massachusetts that, you know, a Georgia-grown food. And I guess he had to send up a big old basket to our Commissioner of Agriculture to pay the bet. And so I just wanted to start by welcoming him to the stage, and I will mail this to him because it weighs a huge amount, a big gallon of Gould's Sugar House maple syrup. So there's not a lot of snow in Georgia, but that he can enjoy it with his friends and family. Commissioner, please, we welcome you to the stage.